I have tried 8 different Quilt As You Go methods, so you don't have to. I'm not gonna hide the ball. I'm gonna start with my favorites and work to my least favorites. Number 1 is called the easy cover strip method. This is the back, and this is the cover strip that we're talking about. You just you quilt each block. These are 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just quilt each one individually, and then you just sew them together, and then you have the ugly seam on the back, but you just cover it. And this is such an easy method, and it feels good too. It's my favorite method, except that it uses a 3/8 inch seam, which doesn't allow you to do like traditional quilt blocks where they have to just meet perfectly in order to form that double pattern. So it's good for applique or things where you don't really have to care about the seam allowance. Second on the list is quilting in pieces, and you're gonna have to look at my other video. Marty Michelle is the person who coined this. You have the whole back, you have the whole front, and you dissect the batting. You put it all in one piece, but then after that you kind of cut it up. You'll just remove like these 2 exterior pieces, and then you'll sandwich it all together, and you'll only quilt the middle piece. Because you've only got fabric and fabric, not fabric batting fabric, it just makes it thinner so you can actually work in that middle piece, and then you will splice back in the batting and then quilt that piece, and then splice back the batting here and quilt that. The jumbo join and flip. A YouTuber who goes by Fabric Scrap Love calls it join and flip, and Monica Poole calls it the easy Quilt As You Go border, but it's not just for borders. I did it here between these 2 blocks, and on the front it looks totally normal, and on the back it looks totally seamless and normal. Watch their videos, they can describe it better, but those are my top 3 methods. In the middle, I don't love it, I don't hate it, is this sashing method. And you can see this gray sashing here. I tried various techniques to try to make it go easier using machine stitching, because there's no way I'm gonna hand stitch any of this. So it looks pretty good on the front. And as you can see, the back also looks pretty darn good. The reason why I don't like this method the most is because it's just a little bit of a flippy edge. Can you see? And I tried different techniques, like, here you can see that I did like a little bit of a serpentine stitch on the top so that I could not only catch the top, but on the back it would try to catch that little flippy edge. I think it looks better with straight stitching, but you have to balance that against that flippy edge and how much that might bother you. I have 4 that are in last place. These blocks, you can't see it on the inside, but they butt right up against each other, and this joining strip just connects them. The reason why I don't like this method is because it also has that same flippy edge issue on the back. I, again, tried a variety of different methods. If you're top stitching from the front so that the front looks good, then you'll see that it's almost impossible to get this flange edge on the back to be even looking. Do you see how it's uneven? It's a little bit closer and a little bit bigger at places. So I focused on top stitching from the back. The back looks good. And the way that you make that work is by changing your bobbin thread so that it's going to just blend in. Looking back at this, I might put this in the medium category too. The other reason I kind of don't like this is because it doesn't feel quite as good. It's just this narrow strip is kind of stiff. This kind of joining where the green is looks a lot like that joining strip, made with 2 bias strips that you connect together. I call this method X marks the sash. I discovered this method from Sid Hearts. It's actually easy to execute and it looks good. The problem I have with it is just held together with some threads. There's nothing in between here. So you might be able to use this for like a wall quilt. I just don't trust the strength of these joins. Tied for last place would be something called the 1-to-1 method or the 1-to-3 method. Quilt your sections and join from the front, but you have to leave this no quilting zone. Like you can't quilt near the edges where you're going to join 2 pieces, because you're going to just kind of try to splice them together by joining the front, and then on the back, you have to like either hand stitch it together or you need to machine stitch, but then it's really fussy trying to get this to line up. Once you've joined it, you then have to go to the front and quilt again in that section, which is awkward. Quilted this block ahead of time, and then I joined it to this block, and then you have to over quilt it. So I did this kind of extra stitch quilting on top, but it doesn't match the designs. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like this method, is because you have to do this post joining quilting that may not look good design wise, and it's just fussy to execute. I'm glad I tried all the methods, but some are definitely easier. You know, you try all 8 methods, and there's more than 8, and you can decide for yourself what you like and think is the best.